Dear students, now we are going to discuss the new topic known as logical reasoning and analytical ability. మనం ఇప్పుడు ఈ రోజు నుంచి లాజికల్ రీజనింగ్ మరియు అనలిటికల్ అబిలిటీ అనే అంశాన్ని పరిశీలించబోతున్నాం. ఇందులో ప్రధానంగా ఉండే అంశాలు ద మెయిన్ టాపిక్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ది సబ్ షెడ్యూల్ ఆర్ యాజ్ ఫాలోస్. ద ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ సిల్లాయిజం, statement and arguments, statement and assumptions, statement and course of action, statement and conclusions, passage based conclusions, assertion, reason and cause and effect. ఇవి ప్రధానంగా ఈ సబ్ టాపిక్లో ఉన్నటువంటి అంశాలు. సిల్లాయిజం కనుక చూసినట్లయితే ఇందులో స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. 2 లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. ఇచ్చిన స్టేట్మెంట్స్ నుంచి కొన్ని కంక్లూజన్స్ కూడా మనకి ఎగ్జామ్లో ఇస్తారు. ఆ కంక్లూజన్స్ ఏవే కంక్లూజన్స్ ఇచ్చిన స్టేట్మెంట్ను ఫాలో అవుతున్నాయి అనేది మనము అబ్జర్వ్ చేసి ఆ ఆన్సర్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి. అమాంగ్ ద గివెన్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అండ్ కంక్లూజన్స్ విచ్ కంక్లూజన్స్ ఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్ ద గివెన్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై దెమ్ అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఆన్సర్ ద క్వశ్చన్. Similarly, all the topics will be like that. Based on the statements, some arguments will be given, and among the arguments, which arguments are following are strong. Okay, na? So, which arguments are strong based on the given statements, we have to decide. Similarly, assumptions will be given based on the given statement, which assumptions are following or strong. Then we have to decide the answer. And 4 options will be given on all the issues. Out of 4 options, options generally will be like this. Only 1 follows, only 2 follows, 1 and 2 follows, 1 and 2 and 3 follows, neither 1 nor 2 follows, or either 1 either 2 follows. Like that, the answer options will be there, and based on those options we have to identify the answer. Now first we will see the first topic, syllogism. Now we will see the problems in syllogism. See the problem here. Statements are given, 2 statements, and based on those 2 statements 2 conclusions are given. The statements are like this. The first statement is some boys are students, and the next statement is all students are teenagers. కొంతమంది బాలురు విద్యార్థులు, అందరు విద్యార్థులు టీనేజర్స్. Conclusions are like this. All teenagers are students and some boys are teenagers. అందరూ టీనేజర్స్ కూడా విద్యార్థులు మరియు కొంతమంది బాలురు టీనేజర్స్. Here the options will be like this. Option A, only 1 follows, and option B, only 2 follows, and C, both 1 and 2 follows, both 1 and 2 follows, and D, none follows, neither 1 nor 2 follows, So based on these statements we have to conclude which conclusions are following the statements. The best method to solve the syllogism problems is the Venn diagrams model. Based on that Venn diagrams model, first of all we have to draw the Venn diagrams, and we have to search or check the conclusions, which conclusion is following the statements. Now we will see the Venn diagrams for these problems. Now that is, some boys are students, and here 2 groups are there. The first group is boys and the second group is students. Now consider this group as boys, and consider these students as like this with this circle, students. Now see, some of the boys are students. These are the students, these are the boys. Some of the boys are students. And next statement is all students are teenagers. Now all students are teenagers. Now see here, these are the teenagers group. Now all the teenagers came into the students. Sorry, all students are came into the teenagers. All students are teenagers. Now we have drawn the Venn diagram for these 2 statements. What are the 2 statements? Some boys are students. Some boys are students. It is following. And all students are teenagers. These are the students, and all the students are subscribed or inscribed in the teenagers group. Now go through the conclusions. All teenagers are students. Now see, all teenagers are not students. All students are teenagers, it is given. The reverse is not true. That is why all teenagers are students can be withdrawn, or it is not following. It is invalid statement. Next one is, some boys are teenagers. See, boys are the part of students and teenagers, see here, that is the intersection part of this boys and teenagers. Now some boys are teenagers. Now this is following and this is not following. So by observing this, we can say that only statement 2 follows. Got it? Once again, we will discuss the problem, how to solve the problem. Here, statements will be given, based on the statement, conclusions will be given. So in order to identify which conclusions are following the statements, first of all, we have to draw the Venn diagrams for the given statements. Now we see, some boys are students. This is boys, this circle, and this circle is students. Now the intersection of these boys and students, this is the some boys are students. It is following the condition. Second statement is, all students are teenagers. Now the students are a part of the teenagers. Correct? Here, generally the people, the students will, or aspirants will get a doubt. How can't you write? Suppose this is the students and this is the teenagers. All students are teenagers now. Now it is students. All students are teenagers. Now I will draw the same line on the same line. As I will draw the circles on the same circle. Now it is also describes the all students are teenagers. But in the Venn diagrams model, we have to follow some rules are there. Based on those rules, we should not draw the same circles. We have to draw the bigger circle based on the condition, based on the statement. Now all students are teenagers. Now they see here, all students are inscribed in teenagers. So this is the way to draw the Venn diagram. Based on this Venn diagram, now we must come to the conclusions. All teenagers are students. See, all teenagers, this one the students. All students are teenagers. That was the given in the statements. But the reverse statement is wrong. So it is not following. Next, some boys are teenagers. Now some boys, see, this is the boys, and among the boys, some of the boys are teenagers. It is the part. It is applying, or it is following. So that's why we can say that only condition 2 is following. Now we will see the next problem. See, the statements are given like this. Some boys are thieves. First statement. And the second statement is, all thieves are dacoits. కొంతమంది బాలురు దొంగలు, కొంతమంది దొంగలు dacoits. Next, conclusions are like this. Some boys are dacoits. కొంతమంది బాలురు dacoits. All dacoits are boys. అందరు dacoits అందరూ కూడా బాయ్స్ ఏను అంటున్నాడు. So based on these statements and conclusions, the options will be like this. Option A, only 1 follows, and option B, only 2 follows, and option C, both 1 and 2 follows, and option D, it is none follows, or neither 1 nor 2 follows. Now we will draw the Venn diagram for these statements. See the statement, some boys are thieves. Here 2 groups are there, boys and thieves. And some means, so intersection will be there. రెండింటి యొక్క intersection తీసుకోవాలి. Suppose it is boys and it is thieves. Some boys are thieves అన్నాడు కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు కొంతమందిని మాత్రమే మనము దీనిలో పరిగణలో తీసుకోవాలి. So it is boys and it is thieves. Now the second statement is like this. All thieves are dacoits. All thieves are dacoits. Now again draw the super circle on this circle. Now all thieves, these are the thieves, and all thieves are in the dacoits branch. Dacoits. So it is the way to draw the Venn diagram. Now we will see the conclusions. Which conclusions are following the statements, given statements. ఇచ్చినటువంటి స్టేట్మెంట్స్లో స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ప్రకారము ఏ కంక్లూజన్స్ను ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నాయో చూస్తున్నాం. Some boys are dacoits. See, some boys, these are the boys group. It is the boys, and this is the dacoits, and this is the dacoits. So some boys are included in the dacoits. So that is why you can say that conclusion 1 is following the statements, given statements. And all dacoits are boys. See, this is the dacoits circle and this is the boys. And in the statement, some boys are thieves and all thieves are dacoits given. So only some boys are the thieves. All the thieves are the dacoits, but not all the boys are the dacoits. From Venn diagram also we can say that all the boys are not included in the dacoits. బాలురు అందరూ కూడా డెకాయిడ్స్లో లేరు కాబట్టి all dacoits are boys, we can say it is wrong. So from the given statements and conclusions, we can clearly say that only the conclusion one is following, that is some boys are dacoits, some boys are dacoits. This is the branch of the dacoits and boys. Now we will see the next problem. See, the statements are given like this: all lotus are flowers. Second statement is no lily is a lotus. సో అన్ని లోటస్లు, అన్ని కమల పుష్పాలు అన్నీ కూడా ఫ్లవర్స్ అంటున్నాడు. రెండవది వచ్చి నో లిల్లీ ఈజ్ ఎ లోటస్, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా లోటస్ కాదు అంటున్నాడు. ద కంక్లూజన్స్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ది స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ గివెన్ లైక్ దిస్: నో లిల్లీ ఈజ్ ఫ్లవర్, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా పుష్పం కాదు, ఫ్లవర్ కాదు అంటున్నాడు. నెక్స్ట్ సమ్ లిల్లీస్ ఆర్ ఫ్లవర్స్, కొన్ని లిల్లీస్ ఫ్లవర్స్ అంటున్నాడు. నౌ వీ విల్ డ్రా ద వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఫార్ దిస్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్. See, here two groups are there, lotus and flowers. So all lotus are flowers. Suppose this is lotus and all these lotus are flowers. So now there are the flowers like this. Now they are the flowers. Now see the conditions statement: all lotus are flowers. There is a subset and a superset. And next statement is no lily is a lotus. We don't know where to draw. Suppose I draw like this: no lily is a lotus. See, this lily is doesn't belong to the lotus group, so it is also correct. And one more Venn diagram I will draw for these two statements. The first statement is all lotus are flowers. Suppose this is the lotus and these lotus are flowers like this, so they are the flowers. Next, no lily is a lotus. Now I will draw the lily like this. Now see, no lily is a lotus, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా లోటస్ కాదు, it is also following. So in this case we can draw two types of Venn diagrams. Now let us see the conclusions. No lily is flower, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా ఫ్లవర్ కాదు అంటున్నాడు. No lily is flower, correct? So here it is following, no lily is flower here. See, here in this case some lilies are flowers, or sometimes you can draw the lilies here also. Now see, all the lilies are flowers, so there is no anonymous in this statement. Now see, some lilies are flowers, some lilies are flowers. Here there is no scope for the lilies are flowers. Here some lilies are flowers chance is there. So here both the statements has the chance to follow, but it is indirectly or definitely we cannot say that the statements are following. So either one follows or two follows may be the option, correct? మరలా ఒకసారి చూడండి, all lotus are flowers, లోటస్లు అన్నీ కూడా ఫ్లవర్స్లో ఉన్నాయి. నో లిల్లీ ఈజ్ ఏ లోటస్, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా లోటస్ కాదు. సో ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్కి ఇది వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఏ అనుకుందాం. రెండవ వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్స్కి ఆల్ లోటస్ ఆర్ ఫ్లవర్స్, అన్ని లోటస్లు ఫ్లవర్సే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫాలోయింగ్. And the second statement is no lily is a lotus. So no lily is a lotus, here is also following. And see the conclusions: no lily is flower, ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా ఫ్లవర్ కాదు అంటున్నాం. సో ఏ లిల్లీ కూడా ఫ్లవర్ కాదు ఇక్కడ. సో here conclusion 1 is following. And some lilies are flowers, ఇక్కడ some lilies are flowers, there is a scope for some lilies are flowers. So here conclusion 2 is following. So we can say that either one follows or two follows. So it is a typical problem, either one follows or two follows is the answer. Now we will see this problem. See the statements: all gardens are schools, అన్ని తోటలు కూడా స్కూల్స్ అంటున్నాడు. సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ స్కూల్స్ ఆర్ కాలేజెస్, సో అన్ని స్కూల్స్ కూడా కాలేజెస్ అంటున్నాడు. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ద కంక్లూజన్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ దిస్: ఆల్ గార్డెన్స్ ఆర్ కాలేజెస్, అన్ని గార్డెన్స్ కూడా కాలేజెసే అంటున్నాడు. సమ్ గార్డెన్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ కాలేజెస్, కొన్ని గార్డెన్స్ కొన్ని తోటలు కాలేజెస్ కావంటున్నాడు. సో వీ విల్ ఫస్ట్ డ్రా ద వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ ఫర్ ద గివెన్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్. ద వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ విల్ బి లైక్ దిస్: హియర్ గార్డెన్స్ అండ్ స్కూల్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ and colleges are there. All gardens are schools. Suppose this is the garden. These are the gardens. Now, all these gardens are schools. Now, the schools will be like this. All these gardens are schools. And see the second statement. All schools are colleges. These schools are, all the schools are colleges. Now, draw the colleges like this. Now, this is the colleges. Now, the Venn diagram is like this. Gardens are, all gardens are the schools and all schools are the colleges. Based on these two statements and the Venn diagram, now go to the conclusions. All gardens are colleges. So, garden is a subset of colleges. Garden అనేది కాలేజెస్లో ఒక భాగం కాబట్టి అన్ని గార్డెన్స్ కూడా కాలేజెస్ అని మనం చెప్పొచ్చు. సో, conclusion 1 is following. Now, see the second statement, second conclusion. Some gardens are not colleges. Some gardens are not colleges. So, it is the contradictory statement, quite opposite statement. That is why we can say that directly it is not following. So, all the gardens are the part of the colleges. Then how can we say that some gardens are not colleges? So, second statement is not following. అన్ని గార్డెన్స్ కాలేజెస్ అయినప్పుడు కొన్ని గార్డెన్స్ కాలేజెస్ కాకుండా పోవడం అనే సమస్య లేదు కాబట్టి సో సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఫాలోయింగ్. సో ద ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ conclusion 2 follows. Only the conclusion 2 follows. Now, we will see the next problem. The statements are like this. Some cups are spoons. కొన్ని కప్పులు స్పూన్లు అంటున్నాడు. Some spoons are saucers. కొన్ని స్పూన్స్ సార్సెస్ అంటున్నాడు. Now, the conclusions are like this. All cups are saucers. అన్ని కప్పులు కూడా సాసర్స్. మరియు some saucers are cups. కొన్ని సాసర్స్ కప్స్ అంటున్నాడు. So, in order to solve this problem, we will first draw the Venn diagram. Some cups are spoons. Suppose this is cups and spoons. Some cups are spoons means the intersection will be there. So, suppose this is cups and this is spoons. ఇవి కప్స్ స్పూన్స్ అయినట్లయితే కొన్ని కప్పులు స్పూన్లు అవుతున్నాయి ఇక్కడ. Now, some spoons are saucers. కొన్ని స్పూన్స్ సాసర్స్ అంటున్నాడు. సో కొన్ని స్పూన్స్ సాసర్స్ అన్నప్పుడు ఇవి సాసర్స్ కనుక అయితే నౌ సమ్ స్పూన్స్ ఆర్ సాసర్స్, కొన్ని స్పూన్స్ సాసర్స్ అవుతున్నాయి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ వన్ డయాగ్రామ్ అండ్ ద సేమ్ కెన్ బి సీన్ విత్ అదర్ వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఆల్సో. సో నౌ విల్ డ్రా ద అదర్ డయాగ్రామ్. సపోజ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ కప్స్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ సాసర్స్. Now I will inscribe the spoons here. Now these are the spoons. These are the spoons. Got it? Now see the statements. Some cups are saucers. So this is some cups are the saucers. And some spoons are saucers. Some spoons are saucers. In this way also we can draw the Venn diagram. Now we will go through the conclusions. All cups are saucers. Suppose all cups are saucers. See, this is cups and saucers. All cups are not saucers. Correct? Here also, all cups are not saucers. Similarly, some saucers are cups. Suppose these are saucers and these are cups. Some saucers are cups. Some saucers are cups. It is following. And here, some saucers are cups. Here, it is not following. So, directly we can say that cups and saucers are not interrelated here. Here cups and saucers are related here, but it is also uncertain. If we follow this Venn diagram, the statement 2 also doesn't follow here. So that is why we can say that here no conclusion is following the statements. So based on these discussions and the Venn diagrams, we can say that no conclusion follows. So the answer is neither 1 nor 2 follows. So neither 1 nor 2 follows is the answer. Statements are given like this. All birds are tall. Some tall are hens. అన్ని పక్షులు పొడవైనవి, కొన్ని పొడవైనవి హెన్స్ అంటున్నాడు. కంక్లూజన్స్ వచ్చి సమ్ బర్డ్స్ ఆర్ హెన్స్, కొన్ని బర్డ్స్ హెన్స్ అంటున్నాడు. సమ్ హెన్స్ ఆర్ టాల్ అంటున్నాడు, కొన్ని హెన్స్ టాల్ అంటున్నాడు. సో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ 2 conclusions, which conclusion is following? The options are like this. Only 1 follows. ఒకటి మాత్రమే ఫాలో అవుతుంది. Only 2 follows and both 1 and 2 follows. Either 1 or 2 follows. Got it? Now we will see the Venn diagram for these statements. all birds are tall. So here birds, this is birds. If these are birds, all birds are tall. Now the Venn diagram will be like this. All birds are tall. అన్ని పక్షులు కూడా టాల్లో ఉన్నాయి, పొడవైనవి అంటున్నాడు. Some tall are hens. Some tall are hens. Suppose these are the hens. As per the statement, some tall are hens. కొన్ని పొడవైనవి hens అంటున్నాడు. Similarly, the same statements can be drawn with another Venn diagram also. The Venn diagram will be like this. Suppose, see, all birds are tall. Suppose these are the birds. All birds are tall. Birds, and this is tall. All birds are tall. Now, some tall are hens. Some tall are hens. Suppose I will draw the hens like this. Now, some hens, some tall are hens. కొన్ని పొడవైనవి hens అంటున్నాడు. ఇది కూడా ఫాలో అవుతుంది. So, for the statements, two statements, we can draw two Venn diagrams. So, the first one is all birds are tall. అన్ని పక్షులు tall కాబట్టి ఈ Venn diagram వచ్చింది. నెక్స్ట్ some tall are hens కాబట్టి కొన్ని టాల్లో hensని పెట్టాం. నెక్స్ట్ the same statements can be drawn with another Venn diagram. All birds are tall. అన్ని పక్షులు కూడా tall పొడవైనవి. Next, some tall are hens. Some tall are hens. Now I am extending these hens up to here. So based on these two Venn diagrams, we can follow the conclusions. How they follow, we'll see. Some birds are hens. See, some birds are hens. Is there any chance for some bird or hens? కొన్ని birds hens కావడానికి ఈ Venn diagram లో ఛాన్స్ లేదండి. చూడండి, some birds are hens. కొన్ని birds ఇక్కడ hens కావడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. So with this diagram we can say that one follows. One follows. And second statement, second conclusion, some hens are tall. Some hens are tall. See, here some hens are tall. Here it is following. Now see, some hens are tall. Here also it is following. So here 1 and 2 follows. 1 and 2, here 2 follows. Here only 2 follows. Only 2 follows. So depending upon these Venn diagrams, we can say that either 1 or 2 follows. So the answer is either 1 or 2 follows. Here only 2 follows. From there 1 and 2 follows. For this diagram, for this statements, 2 Venn diagrams probability is there. That is why we can say that either 1 or 2 follows. From this diagram, both 1 and 2 cannot follow. That is why this is not the option. Whereas from this diagram, both 1 and 2 follows. From this diagram, only 2 follows. That is why we can say that either 1 or 2 follows. Now, see this problem now. The statements are like this. All umbrellas are aeroplanes. అన్ని గొడుగులు కూడా aeroplanes అంటున్నాడు. నెక్స్ట్, some aeroplanes are birds. కొన్ని aeroplanes పక్షులు అంటున్నాడు. Conclusions are like this. Some umbrellas are aeroplanes. కొన్ని umbrellas aeroplanes అంటున్నాడు. So here చూడండి, all umbrellas are aeroplanes and some umbrellas are aeroplanes. All ఇక్కడేమో some అంటున్నాడు. నెక్స్ట్ conclusion 2, some birds are umbrellas. కొన్ని birds umbrellas అంటున్నాడు. Now we will draw the Venn diagram for these statements. All umbrellas are aeroplanes. Suppose these are the umbrellas. Now all umbrellas are aeroplanes. Now this is the aeroplanes. Now some aeroplanes are birds. See, some aeroplanes are birds. Now it is the birds. See, here what is the condition? Conclusions, some umbrellas are aeroplanes. Some umbrellas are aeroplanes. All umbrellas are aeroplanes, not some. Next, some birds are umbrellas. Here there is no chance for some birds are umbrellas. కొన్ని birds umbrellas కావడానికి ఇక్కడ ఛాన్స్ లేదు. ఇదే Venn diagram ని ఇంతకుముందు ప్రాబ్లం వేసినట్టుగా కొంచెం ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసి చూద్దాం. Suppose these are the umbrellas and all umbrellas are aeroplanes. This is the aeroplane. And suppose if you extend the birds like this, now this is the birds section. Now this is also one more Venn diagram, one more probability for the Venn diagram. Now see the conclusions. Some umbrellas are aeroplanes. So all umbrellas are aeroplanes, not some here. And some birds are umbrellas. Here there is a scope for some birds are umbrellas. Now here there is no scope for 1 and 2 to follow. What is the 1 and 2? Some umbrellas are aeroplanes. That is wrong. All umbrellas are aeroplanes. So here conclusion 1 is not following. Some birds are umbrellas. some birds are not umbrellas here. So here 2 is also not following. So neither 1 nor 2 follows here. Similarly, if you consider this Venn diagram, some umbrellas are aeroplanes, not some, all the umbrellas are aeroplanes. Now some birds are animals, some birds are umbrellas, some birds are umbrellas. So here only 2 follows. So here only 2 follows means, so we cannot say perfectly or definitely that 2 is following. Only in this case it is following. In this case the conclusion 2 is also not following. That is why we can conclude that both the conclusions are not following. So the option is neither 1 nor 2 follows. So రెండు ఆప్షన్స్లో రెండు కంక్లూజన్స్లో ఏది కూడా స్టేట్మెంట్స్ని ఫాలో కావట్లేదని మనము చెప్పవచ్చు. See the problem now. The statements are like this. All men are dogs. అందరు మనుషులు కూడా పురుషులు కూడా కుక్కలు అంటున్నాడు. నెక్స్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆల్ డాగ్స్ ఆర్ క్యాట్స్. అన్ని కుక్కలు కూడా పిల్లులు అంటున్నాడు. సో ద స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్ మెన్ ఆర్ డాగ్స్, ఆల్ డాగ్స్ ఆర్ క్యాట్స్. నౌ we will draw the Venn diagram for these statements. So all men are dogs. Suppose this is men and all these men are dogs. So this is dogs. Next, all dogs are cats. అన్ని డాగులు కూడా cats అంటున్నాడు. So this is cats. Now all men are dogs and all dogs are cats. Now see the conclusions. All men are cats. అందరూ పురుషులు కూడా cats అంటున్నాడు. All men are cats. Suppose all men are cats. Now it is following the given statements. And all cats are men. And all cats are men. All men are cats. అందరూ పురుషులు కూడా cats. కానీ all cats are not men. So అన్ని పిల్లులు కూడా పురుషులు కాదు. So statement 2 is not following. Sorry, conclusion 2 is not following. So that is why we can say that only conclusion 1 follows. So the answer is A. Again you see, all men are dogs. All men are dogs. Men అంతా కూడా డాగ్స్లో ఉన్నారు. And all dogs are cats. అన్ని డాగ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా క్యాట్స్లో ఉన్నాయి. So all dogs are cats. So based on these 2 statements, now you go for the conclusions. So first conclusion is all men are cats. అందరు పురుషులు కూడా క్యాట్స్లో ఉన్నారు. So the statement conclusion 1 is following. And the next conclusion is all cats are men. అన్ని క్యాట్స్ కూడా మెన్ కాదు. అందరు మెన్స్ కూడా క్యాట్స్ అవుతారు కానీ అన్ని క్యాట్స్ మెన్ కాదు కాబట్టి conclusion 2 is not following. So answer is option A, that is only 1 follows. That is nothing but the all men are cats. Now see the statements of this problem. Statements are like this. Some books are copies. కొన్ని బుక్స్ కాపీస్ అంటున్నాడు. ఆల్ కాపీస్ ఆర్ గ్రీన్. అన్ని కాపీస్ కూడా గ్రీన్లో ఉన్నాయి అంటున్నాడు. సమ్ గ్రీన్ ఆర్ ఎల్లో. కొన్ని గ్రీన్ ఎల్లో అంటున్నాడు. నెక్స్ట్ ద కంక్లూజన్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ దిస్. ఆల్ కాపీస్ ఆర్ ఎల్లో, సమ్ ఎల్లో ఆర్ గ్రీన్, సమ్ కాపీస్ ఆర్ ఎల్లో, ఆల్ గ్రీన్ ఆర్ కాపీస్. కరెక్ట్. నౌ based on these statements, which conclusions are following we have to identify. The options are only 2 follows, either 3 or 4 follows, either 2 or 3 follows, none follows. Now we will see how the conclusions will follow by drawing the Venn diagram. దీనికి Venn diagram గీద్దామండి. గీసినాక ఏ ఫాలో అవుతుందో చూద్దాం. So some books are copies. Suppose these are books and some books are copies. Some books, suppose these are books, they are copies. Now the condition is some books are copies. Next condition is, our statement is all copies are green. So all copies are green. Now it is green. Now the next statement is some green or yellow. Some green or yellow. So now this is yellow, some green or yellow. So the Venn diagram will be like this. Now see again, some books are copies. This is books and this is copies. Some books are copies. Got it? Next, second statement is all copies are green. See, all the copies should be green. So green అనేది ఈ copies ని overcome చేయాలి. It is superset and is subset. And the third statement is some green or yellow. కొన్ని green yellow అంటున్నాడు. So if it is yellow, some green or yellow. So the Venn diagram will become like this. Now go through the conclusions. First conclusion, all copies are yellow. All copies are yellow. So this is the copies and this is yellow. No copy is yellow here. So we can say that 1 is not following. Next, some yellow are green. Some yellow are green. See, this is yellow and this is green. Some yellow are green. So 2 is following here. And third conclusion, some copies are yellow. Some copies are yellow. No copy is yellow. So here it is, 3 is not following. And all green are copies. And all green are copies. All copies are green, but not all green are copies. So here, fourth is not also following. So in this case, only 2 is following. Only 2 is following. Correct? And again, we will draw one more diagram, Venn diagram for these statements. Now, instead of drawing this yellow circle, now I will draw the circle here. Now the Venn diagram changes now. This yellow circle ikkada gaakunda, what is that? Some green or yellow. Some green or yellow ni ikkada gisamandi, deenni ikkada gistanu ippudu. Now suppose this is books and this is copies. These are books and this is copies. All copies are green. All copies are green. And see the yellow. Suppose if I draw this yellow here, now the Venn diagram will become like this. Now the Venn diagram will become like this. Now see the conclusions. All copies are yellow. Now this is the copies and this is the yellow. Only some are yellows are copies or some copies are yellow. So that is why 1 doesn't follow. All copies are yellow, doesn't follow. This is yellow and this is copies. So all copies are not yellow. So that is why 1 doesn't follow. Next, some yellow are green. This is some yellow and some is green. This is the green. Some yellow are green. So 2 follows. This is yellow and this is green. Some yellow are green. So 2 follows. Next, third conclusion, some copies are yellow. Some copies are yellow. This is copies and this is yellow. So that is why some copies are yellow. So option 3 follows. And fourth one is all green are copies. This is all copies are green here. All copies are green. But all copies are green, but all green are not copies. That is why 4 doesn't follow. Here 2 and 3 follows here. Here only 2 follows. So based on these 2 Venn diagrams, we can say that either 2 or 3 follows. Either 2 or 3 follows. So the answer is C. From the first Venn diagram, only 2 follows. And the second Venn diagram, 2 and 3 follows. That is why we can say that either 2 or 3 follows is the answer. Now we will see this problem. See the statements. Some carrots are brinjals. Kunni carrots vankayalu brinjals antunnadu. Some brinjals are apples. Kunni brinjals apples antunnadu. All apples are bananas. Anni apples bananas antunnadu. Conclusions. Some apples are carrots. Kunni apples carrots avutayi. Some bananas are brinjals. Kunni bananas brinjals avutayi. Next, some bananas are carrots. Kunni bananas carrots aitayi. So options are only 1 follows, 2 follows, 3 follows, all follows. Ee vidhanga unnandi options. Now first we will draw the Venn diagram for these statements. Some carrots are brinjals. Suppose these are the carrots. Some carrots are brinjals. Now they are brinjals. And some brinjals are apples. Some brinjals are apples. Some brinjals are apples like this. And all apples are bananas. And all apples are bananas. So this is B, brinjal. And all apples are bananas means like this. All apples are bananas. So it is bananas. So based on this Venn diagram, we can conclude that which conclusions will follow. So see the statements again. Some carrots are bananas. Some carrots are, these are the carrots. And some carrots are bananas. Sorry, brinjals. Some carrots are brinjals. And some brinjals are apples. Some brinjals are apples. This is apples and this is brinjal. This is the sum, that is the intersection. And the third one is all apples are bananas. All apples, these are the apples. And all apples are the bananas. This is, now conclusions are like this. Some apples are carrots. Some apples are carrots. Now see, these are the apples and these are the carrots. There is no intersection between the carrots and the apples. So that is why statement conclusion 1 doesn't follow. And the second conclusion, some bananas are brinjals. Some bananas are brinjals. See, this is the brinjal and this is the bananas. Some bananas are brinjals. So 2 follows. And the third one, some bananas are carrots. So this is the bananas. What is the circle? This is the banana circle. And this is the carrot circle. So there is no intersection between the bananas and carrots. That is why conclusion 3 doesn't follow. So the option is only 2 follows is the answer. Now see the problem. Statements are like this. Some ministers are teachers. కొంతమంది మినిస్టర్లు టీచర్స్ అంటున్నారు. అట్లానే ఆల్ టీచర్స్ ఆర్ స్కాలర్స్. అందరూ టీచర్లు అందరూ కూడా స్కాలర్స్ అంటున్నారు. కంక్లూజన్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ దిస్. సమ్ మినిస్టర్స్ ఆర్ స్కాలర్స్. కొంతమంది మినిస్టర్లు స్కాలర్స్ అంటున్నారు. సెకండ్ కంక్లూజన్, ఆల్ స్కాలర్స్ ఆర్ టీచర్స్. స్కాలర్స్ అందరూ కూడా టీచర్లు అంటున్నారు. ఆప్షన్స్ ఆర్ ఓన్లీ 1 follows, only 2 follows, both 1 and 2 follows, neither 1 nor 2 follows, none follows. So this is the question given in the IAS prelims 2015, that is UPSC Civils prelims 2015. Now for solving this problem, now we will draw the Venn diagram. The statements are like that. Some ministers are teachers. Suppose these are the ministers and some ministers are teachers. Some means like this. Some ministers are teachers. They are the teachers. And the second statement is all teachers are scholars. All teachers are scholars. Now these are the scholars. So this is the Venn diagram. Some ministers are teachers. If these are the ministers, teachers are like this. Some ministers are teachers. That means intersection part is there. Similarly, the second statement is like this. All teachers are scholars. Suppose this is the teachers. All the teachers are scholars. Correct? This is the subset of scholars. Now see the conclusions. Some ministers are scholars. కొంతమంది మినిస్టర్లు స్కాలర్స్ అంటున్నారు. Some ministers are scholars. So some ministers, this is some ministers and these are the scholars. So some part is there. This is the some part, intersection is there. So 1 follows. Conclusion 1 follows. Next conclusion, all scholars are teachers. Suppose what is there? Scholars. All scholars are teachers. In the statement it is given that all teachers are scholars. So it is that means reverse statement doesn't true. So that is why all scholars are not teachers. So 2 doesn't follow. So the condition is only 1 follows. So this is the question given in UPSC Civils 2015. See the statements one more time. So the statements are some ministers are teachers. So some ministers are teachers. These are the ministers, these are the teachers. Some ministers are teachers and all teachers are scholars. So all the teachers are scholars means these are which is the teachers, these are the scholars. All teachers are the scholars. Now based on the conclusions, the first conclusion, some ministers are scholars. Some ministers are scholars. It is following. And all teachers, all scholars are teachers doesn't follow. All scholars, this is the scholars and this is the teachers. All teachers are not scholars. So 2 doesn't follow. So the answer is only 1 follows. Now see this problem. This is the problem given in UPSC prelims 2014. Civil Services prelims 2014. This problem is given and see the statements are like this. All knowledge is good. అన్ని నాలెడ్జ్ అంతా కూడా గుడ్ అంటున్నాడు. ఆల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఈజ్ డిఫికల్ట్ అంటున్నాడు. మళ్ళీ సేమ్ నాలెడ్జ్ డిఫికల్ట్ అంటున్నాడు. ఆల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఈజ్ గుడ్, ఆల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఈజ్ డిఫికల్ట్. The conclusions are like this. There are 4 options are given. All difficult things are knowledge, some good things are difficult, all good things are difficult, easy things are not good. Now for solving this problem, now we will draw the Venn diagram first. All knowledge is good. Suppose this is knowledge, this is knowledge. All knowledge is good. All knowledge is good. Now it is good. And second statement is all knowledge is difficult. So all knowledge is difficult. We can draw like this. All knowledge is difficult. Or otherwise we can draw the circle inside only. Got it? Now see the conclusions. All difficult things are knowledge. All difficult things. This is the difficulty. All knowledge is difficult. So this is the difficult. Now First conclusion, all difficult things are knowledge. All difficult things are knowledge. All knowledge is difficult, but not all difficult things are knowledge. So A conclusion is not following the statements. That is wrong option. Some good things are difficult. Okay, na? So this is good and this is difficult. Some good things, this is all the good. Some good things are difficult. So this is difficult. So it is obeying or it is following the statements. All good things are difficult. All good things, this is all good. This is all difficult. This is all difficult and this is all good. So we cannot say that all good things are difficult. Only some good things are difficult. So that is why this is also wrong. And the next option is easy things are not good. So there is no easy things. So no need to worry about this last option. So easy things are not good. That is can be omitted directly. So among these three conclusions, some good things are difficult. So this is the good things and this is the difficult things. So among them, some things are there, some good things are difficult, we can easily say. So the option is B. Answer is B. See this problem. This is also previous UPSC problem. The statements are like this. All players are doctors. Andru players andru kuda doctors antunnadu. All doctors are singers. Doctors andru kuda singers. Third statement. Some singers are actors. కొంతమంది సింగర్స్ యాక్టర్స్ అంటున్నాడు. కంక్లూజన్స్. సమ్ యాక్టర్స్ ఆర్ డాక్టర్స్. కొంతమంది యాక్టర్లు డాక్టర్లు అవుతారు అంటున్నాడు. సమ్ సింగర్స్ ఆర్ ప్లేయర్స్. కొంతమంది సింగర్స్ ప్లేయర్స్ అవుతారు అంటున్నాడు. థర్డ్ కంక్లూజన్ ఈజ్ సమ్ యాక్టర్స్ ఆర్ ప్లేయర్స్. కొంతమంది యాక్టర్స్ ప్లేయర్స్ అవుతారు అంటున్నాడు. అండ్ ద ఆప్షన్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ 1 follows, ఓన్లీ 2 follows, only 3 follows, 2 and 3 follows. These are the options. Now we will draw the Venn diagram for the statements. See, all players are doctors. Suppose this is players. This is players. All players are doctors. Now this is the doctors. Now all players are coming under the roof of doctors. Next, all doctors are singers. Now see this problem. See this is the circle. Now these singers, now all the doctors are singers. All the doctors are singers. Now third statement, some singers are actors. Some singers are actors. Now suppose if they are actors, some singers, it is the singers. Some singers are actors. Got it? Now go through the conclusions. First conclusion is like this. Some actors are doctors. Some actors are doctors. So this actors is away from the doctors. Got it? Next, some singers are players. Some singers are players. So all the players are singers. So that is why some singers are here. Some singers are players. So 2 follows. Third one is some actors are players. Some actors are players. This is the players and this is the actors. So now we cannot say that some players are actors or some actors are players. So it is not following. So only 2 is following. So the option is only 2. Got it? So all players are doctors. This is the players. These are the doctors. All doctors are singers. Suppose this is doctors and this is singers. All doctors are singers. Now some singers are actors. Suppose this is singers and this is actors. Some singers are actors. So from this Venn diagram, we can say that some singers are players. Some singers, these are the singers and these are the players. So some singers, all the players, but all the players are singers. So only option 2 or conclusion 2 follows. Now we will see this problem. Choose the alternative from the following. So here the options are given. A, B, C, D, 4 options are given. From these 4 options, choose the alternative. Which one is correct? So where the third segment in the statement, there are 4 statements are there. In the 4 statements, 3 segments are there. Suppose A, this is one segment, second segment and third segment. So the third segment in the statement can be deduced using both the preceding 2. దాని థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని ఆ ముందున్న 2 సెగ్మెంట్స్ నుంచే మనము డెడ్యూస్ చేయగలము, ఉత్పత్తి చేయగలము. అనే విధంగా ఉండాలి. బట్ నాట్ జస్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ ఆఫ్టర్ దెమ్. ఈ 3 సెగ్మెంట్స్లో ఈ థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ అనేది ఈ సెగ్మెంట్ నుంచి ఈ సెగ్మెంట్ నుంచి డెడ్యూస్ కావాలి. అట్లాగే ఈ థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ కూడా దీని నుంచి డెడ్యూస్ కావాలి. ఈ థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ కూడా దీని నుంచి. సిమిలర్లీ ఈ థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ కూడా దీని నుంచి డెడ్యూస్ కావాలి. అట్లా ఈ థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ కెన్ బి డెడ్యూస్డ్ ఓన్లీ ఫ్రమ్ ద ప్రిసీడింగ్ 2 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఓన్లీ, నాట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద జస్ట్ సింగిల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆర్ సింగిల్ సెగ్మెంట్. సో ఆ విధంగా ఏదైతే ఉన్నదో దాన్ని గుర్తించండి అంటున్నాడు. సో సీ ద ప్రాబ్లం, చూస్ ద ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ where the third segment in the statement can be deduced using both the preceding 2 but not just from only one of them. Correct? Now see the option A. Sonia is an actress. Some actresses are pretty. Sonia is pretty. Sonia is an actress. Some actors are pretty. Suppose actors are there. Suppose this is actors and this is pretty. Some actors are pretty. Some actors are pretty. So these are the actors and this is pretty and Sonia is pretty. We cannot say that Sonia is pretty from the 2 preceding statements. Suppose Sonia is here, Sonia may not be pretty, but Sonia is an actress. So suppose if it is here, actress, now Sonia is not pretty. So these are the actors and this is pretty. If Sonia lies this side, Sonia is not pretty, but Sonia is pretty, he said. So the option A cannot follow the condition which is given in the problem. Next, all actors are pretty. Manoj is not an actor. Manoj is not pretty. So all actors are pretty. Suppose actors pretty is there. Suppose these are the actors and this is pretty. All actors are pretty. All actors are pretty. Now Manoj is not an actor. So Manoj is not an actor. So here it is Manoj. Manoj. So Manoj if may be here or here also. Here also. So Manoj is not pretty. Suppose if it is here, Manoj is not pretty is going to be wrong. That is why this statement also goes wrong. See again here. All actors are pretty. Andru actors are pretty antunnadu. Now I have taken this actors here and pretty here. All the actors are pretty now here. Correct? Now Manoj is not an actor. Manoj is not an actor. So Manoj ane ayina ee actors lo raadu. He may come away from the actors, that is away from the pretty or within the pretty. But Manoj is not pretty. Manoj is not pretty. Suppose Manoj ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి, he is pretty. So that is why third statement cannot be deduced from the preceding both the statements. See the third statement is like this. Some men are cops. Suppose this is men and some men are cops. Some men are cops. So this is cops. So now the some men are cops now. Some men are brave. Suppose if it is brave. Some men are brave. Now some men are cops, some men are brave. Now see the third segment of the statement. Some brave people are cops. Some brave people. Suppose brave people lies this side. Those brave people doesn't come under the cops. ఈ brave కనుక ఇటువైపు ఉన్నట్లయితే వాళ్ళు cops కిందకి రారు. So some brave people are cops. So third segment of the statement cannot be deduced from the preceding 2 statements. Now we will go for the fourth option. All cops are brave. Some men are cops. Some men are brave. All cops are brave. All cops are brave. Suppose this is cops. All cops are brave. This is brave. Now some men are cops. Some men are cops. Some men. This is men. Now some men are cops. So see the 2 statements. So 2 segments of the statement. All cops are brave. Suppose this is cops. All cops are brave. This is the subset of brave. Got it? And the second segment. Some men are cops. Suppose men are like this. Some men are cops. So some part is there. The intersection is there between cops and men. So some men are cops. Now see the third segment. Some men are brave, some men are brave. See, this is the brave and this is the men, and some men are brave. So it is following. Some men are brave, it is there in the brave section. So intersection is there between brave and men. Now the only fourth statement or option D follows the criteria which is given in the question. So the answer is D. Dear students, with this we completed the syllogism. My humble request is there may be so many doubts in syllogism topic. ఈ టాపిక్ని కొంచెం ఆన్లైన్లో కంటే కూడా ఆఫ్లైన్లో వింటే క్లాస్లో డిస్కషన్ అవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. అయినప్పటికీ ఐ ట్రైడ్ మై బెస్ట్ టు గివ్ ద బెస్ట్ రిజల్ట్. మీకు ఎటువంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా యూ గో త్రూ ద అదర్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ అండ్ యూ బికమ్ ఎన్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ఇన్ దిస్ టాపిక్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.